Hey guys, okay, so let's talk about, I'm going to talk about week number 2 on my stem cells for my ankle, okay? So first of all, so this last week, it seems like every day has been a little bit better than the next day, but I did have a couple days where my ankle was actually, it was like on the opposite side where the arthritis was. So the arthritis was like on the inside of the ankle, but on the outside of the ankle, on the subtalar part, when I was walking, it would just kind of hurt. But it wouldn't hurt like an arthritis feeling, more of almost like a muscle feeling or something. So what I'm thinking was going on was I'm starting to walk more normal now, as opposed to favoring that area. And so those muscles that I haven't used for a while, I think that they're starting to work again, basically. Excuse me. So that's kind of what's going on with that. And then, so like as of today, okay, so it's been exactly 2 weeks since I had my stem cell shot, okay? But as of today, I would say that from when I walked in till today, I would say the improvement, because, well, okay, it's kind of hard to say, because for one, when I used to get up in the morning, I would feel the pain, like right when I got out of bed, it would just be like that real arthritis pain, and I'd wobble to the bathroom, and then I would pretty much wobble throughout the day, pop my ibuprofen, wait about 2 to 3 hours, suffer through a little more pain, and then finally I'd be able to walk somewhat normal for the rest of the day. Now I've taken 0 ibuprofen. I get out of bed in the morning. That arthritis pain's not there, but it's almost like the functionality of my joint is not as good as it was. It's more like tight. It feels kind of tight, but it feels kind of like I can't move it real good, and if I do try and over move it, it still hurts a little bit, if that makes sense, okay? And then as far as like my hip joint started hurting here and there, because of that tightness in the joint, so I think the way I'm walking is kind of overcompensating a little bit, and I've really been trying to take it easy, not to not to walk too much on it, but there's some days where I have walked on it more than others. Okay, so, but I'm trying to take it easy throughout the day and not be like consistently on my feet and consistently walking for 4 or 5 hours straight. I try and break it up a little bit. So that's kind of what's going on. Now, the biggest thing, this is the biggest thing I'm really happy about, is before I would walk around during the day, and then toward the end of the night or halfway through the day, my whole leg would start to swell up, because that swelling from the subtalar joint would actually go up my leg. And so my leg would get that massive amount of swelling, and like when I pull my sock off at the end of the night, I'd have like a ton of swelling right around that where you could see where the sock was. All of that is actually pretty much gone. I mean, it is gone. Few days ago, I saw a little bit, but not much. And then also my leg would be pretty red. That one would be more red than the other leg. That now it's still a little redder than the other leg, but not nearly as bad as it was. And the swelling around the inside of my ankle was always predominant, and that right there is actually, it's still there, but it's not as predominant as it was before, if that makes sense. And I mean, that's the main thing though. The main thing is the swelling has significantly reduced, which I'm really happy about that. And with this swelling starting to reduce, the pain is not as bad, but I just don't have that. It's almost like it feels real stiff, and it's hard to move around. So, anyways, so if you have ankle arthritis, then I'm hoping that this helps you. But I do know for a fact that my age, being 41 years old, it helps, because the doctor told me the younger you are, the better results you're going to have too. So if you're like 70 years old or 80 years old, I don't know if your results are going to be as good as mine are going to be, but they're saying anybody under 60, they're going to get some pretty good results on it. So I think that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So week number 2. So let's look at a percentage wise, okay? And what's funny is as you start to feel better, you kind of forget how bad it really, really was. But like right now, I'm walking around pretty good. But the only problem I'm having is I'm still kind of, because of the stiffness of the joint, I'm still favoring and using my hips more, and using my just kind of walking a little off kilter still a little bit. So I'm having a little bit of like hip lower back pain, a little bit, not as much as I used to, but I'm still getting that because I haven't got the full range of motion, and I don't want to start moving the ankle around and start doing anything because I feel like it's really just in there starting to heal up. So I kind of want to take it easy still. But after 2 weeks, you can start moving it a little bit more. But I will say, like when I was walking around today, I was like, God, it almost felt like it did before. And then it just kind of, and then as I rested for a little bit, then it's a little bit tighter and stuff. So I think we're on the right track. I think the road to recovery is on the right track. And in my mind, I'm thinking on the ankle, like being week number 2, I'm like, well, are stem cells are they gonna run out? Is it gonna stop doing the healing process? But I guess this goes on for a good 6 months. And I'm like, man, if I have this much in 2 more weeks, I'm gonna be like it never happened. So we'll kind of see. And I'm just going. I don't want to give a big thumbs up of approval, like this is the best thing there ever was, quite yet. I do want to say, yes, it is good. It's going great. But I'm not 100% healed. Not 100%. But if, like, just at this point where I'm at right now, if I can go and do it all over again, I still would have done it. Because, I mean, just not killing my stomach and my kidneys and my liver and all that with that ibuprofen every day. I mean, that's the biggest thing about it, too. So, and every situation is different, too. Everybody's got a different situation. And I know, like, a lot of people will have questions as they start to find this video on YouTube as well. And the only reason I'm making this video is because when I went to go look for information, there wasn't a lot of information for ankle arthritis that I could find. And there wasn't, I mean, there was like like as far as stem cells go, there was no real negative information, but there was no real positive information either. There wasn't really any information at all. I mean, I saw a couple videos where some guys came in and said, yeah, it worked really good, this and that, or whatever. But you kind of don't know because I don't think anybody's really gone into detail like I'm trying to go into detail. And nobody's really said, hey, week 1, this is how it feels. Week 2, this is kind of how it feels. And so I'm hoping this kind of educates people and lets them know, hey, guess what? This is the reality of it for my situation. And I don't know if it's going to be the same for everybody else's situation. But at least you've got something to go off of. You've got somebody that has some real experience with it, and you know that actually paid the price to get the injection. And I mean, it was like something like, I think it was like 15 shots that the guy put in my ankle. So I mean, he covered everything. He was doing tendons. He was doing inside the joint. He was doing everything. I mean, the doctor was fantastic, and so I think he did a good job on what he had to work with. And remember, I came from a doctor who told me my option was basically fusing my ankle. That was my option. That was my only option. Your option, Eric, is to fuse your ankle and you get to walk around the club the rest of your life. That's your option, pretty much. And when people put you up against a corner and they say, hey, you know what, this is your only option, I believe that the human spirit can overcome that and say, you know what, I refuse to accept that as my only option. Because you're one person, you're one man, and I want to look at every other avenue before I make any kind of decisions that are going to affect my my lifelong performance and my satisfaction of living a good, wholesome life. So, anyways, so that's why I decided to go the stem cell route, because by the time I would have paid for the surgery, it would have cost me more than what it's paying me for just to do the shot. And to me, I mean, how much is your ankle worth? How much is your way of life worth to you? And feeling good and feeling great all the time, what kind of value can you actually put on that? And when you've had a disability like that, it's kind of like you look back and you say, you know what? That's worth a lot to me. A lot of people give up a lot of money, a lot of materialistic things just to be able to walk around the block and do stuff like that. So I'm just hoping I can help other people along the way. All right. Anyways, Okay, so I'm gonna. I think that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, or if people want to, if people start subscribing, I noticed I got like 1 subscriber or something. I haven't even checked today, but I haven't even really put a bunch of tags in there and stuff either. I just wanted to start getting the videos in there, and then maybe I can upload them. And as people start to research it on the YouTube or whatever, I would imagine there's not a lot of information because I've already looked at it, and most of it's people where they want to do surgery and all this weird surgeries and stuff like that. And I think that people will find this video, and people that start to subscribe and ask questions, I'll check it from time to time and see if I can answer some questions if I don't cover them in the video. But I try and give every explanation that I can, or every detail, so people kind of know what to expect as well. All right, thanks.